Hello, I'm on my way back now. You can see the sun is shining. Sorry about the video before this. That was this morning when I was walking in the other direction. I told you this is my 1 hour walk today, 1 hour in either direction. So my jersey's off now. It's almost midday. This is over an hour away from midday. I'm sure you can hear all the traffic because I'm walking along a road where they are heavily busy with construction. Let me see if I can show you the road properly this time. You can see almost the whole road is under construction. It's been like that since 2007. So that's 19 years that they've been constructing one road. It goes all the way down, and this road is where they're going to construct the BRT, the Bus Rapid Transport. That's what BRT stands for. So there will be a bus lane in the middle, and it will be an inexpensive bus meant to get the slaves to work on time, you know, and they don't have to pay that much money. How nice of them. One thing our slave owners are, they in a way they're quite nice, but they're still slave owners. Of course, you can't go and be racist about it now, because nowadays in the new South Africa, it's you don't know who it is, you know. Is it black or is it white? Where does stuff come from? The Democratic Alliance, which is mostly white, and does it come from national government, which is mostly black, like pitch black? Because remember, you also get white black and you get brown black, like brown coconuts and white coconuts. You can stand next to somebody but not look at him, and then he talks and you think he's a white man, but then when you turn around, oh, I'm getting a lot of sun glare now, glare from the sun. That's better. Yeah, when you look around, then you're not sure, this isn't a black guy but he talks like a white man, or it's a colored guy but he talks like a white person. You know, so people have to conform to, you know, they have to be in line with European stuff in order to get in. Why must you keep up your culture? Why must you keep up your parents, your religion, the way you talk, just so that you can, I don't know, do what? I don't know, do what? Get money, I suppose. People do everything for money. Everything and anything. Myself excluded. I need money, but I won't do anything. I'm hoping to get a funder this week still, so I can take off with my stuff, and then there's no looking back. I met a nice young girl in the bookshop now. I'm struggling with the sun here now. Okay, let me hold it up like that here. It's a lot better. I met a nice young girl in the bookshop / coffee shop now this morning, and she introduced me to a totally new subject, I forget the name now, geodesics or something. Not geodesics, something else, but it's very mathematical and it's very geometry type and it's very spherical, you know, about curves and stuff. Interesting. And they're the people who stand with a tripod and look through that thing, and they do measurements down to a lot more accuracy than with a laser. You know, you can measure stuff with a laser. And so I was telling her about my physics, and she understood it. And she's an undergraduate, she's a third year student. She understood my physics when I explained it to her. But professors of physics don't. They are incapable of understanding because they haven't done physics for such a long time. So they can wax lyrical about black holes and quasars and whatever, but they can't just talk plain and simple physics. I always thought the professor knows everything about the field that he's in. But now I'm hearing it's not possible for a professor to know everything about the field that he's in. But I mean, you can at least try. You can at least know basic physics, surely. I mean, how can you not know high school physics? But you're a professor of physics. But anyway, that's the reason why I'm not in line with anything, because I get irritated with idiots. So I'm an independent researcher. While I was walking home now, a lot of stuff came to mind. That's why I thought I'd make another video on my way back and maybe upload it tomorrow, because I already uploaded the video today. I'm taking a turn here now. It's a lot better. No more grey. Oh no, it's coming back again. It's a nice warm sunny day. It's 19 degrees in Cape Town today. So that BRT starts in Khayelitsha, which is the black area that formed next to the colored area of Mitchell's Plain. And in the previous video, I explained that Mitchell's Plain was on the outskirts of Cape Town, far out on the N2, which is along the coast. But now it's not the furthest. Now Khayelitsha is the furthest, which is also about 1 million people next to Mitchell's Plain. And they are slowly encroaching on Mitchell's Plain itself. You know, Mandalay used to be an area in Mitchell's Plain, right on the very edge of Mitchell's Plain. If you got to the edge of Mandalay, there was just bush after that. Now, there's Khayelitsha in that bush, because the ANC, before the 90s and after 1994, when they didn't win the Western Cape, what they did was they told young blacks from the Eastern Cape to come to the Western Cape and they could study for free at UWC and at the Technikon, where I was lecturing at the time. And they came. And they just walked into the hostels, took up rooms, and they just walked into lectures with no money. And I remember at the time that they couldn't speak English. You know, nowadays they can at least speak English. Back then, I had 2 engineering classes, of black kids with forged matric certificates, typixed out, handwritten with black ink and then photocopied. And you know, when we found the schools in the Eastern Cape, the principal said, no, but that child is in here in matric now. You know, I don't know. Don't bother to try and figure that out, because you're just going to learn how to think like they do. But in any case, they came to do engineering, but they couldn't understand English. So you have like 40 kids in your class, and when you finish explaining to them what to do, then there's a girl in the group. I think I explained this in a previous video, but I'm just going to run through it very quickly. So that's the kind of problem that we have here in the Western Cape. You know, we have students who feel that they can benefit from BEE, which is Black Empowerment, because one of the things that is messing the Western Cape up is since the ANC took over, the mid-1990s, we have had BEE, where blacks and women fell into an affirmative action program. This is now the excuse, right? So blacks have to be put into management positions and women. And it's messing things up, because it's not a merit system. You know, it's based on whether you are black. And now the women, the colored women, they all devising and making stuff up, because democracy is about making stuff up. So they saying things like, you get black, and we black, but you brown. But now you want to be black because you can benefit financially, you can get a nice job, and then you can work for the government, and then you can also put your finger in the pie. You side hustle with the government's money. They steal. I'm not afraid to say it. Everybody knows that they steal, they corrupt. And what are Muslim names coming up in the newspapers now? And it's all hundreds of millions. And whistleblowers get killed and lawyers get shot. And Africa is a really terrible place to be. And that's why we need to form the Faith and Justice Party. We must do it. And we must wrestle it away from the national government. They already shrunk it. They made it smaller. But that doesn't matter. All these kind of issues can be dealt with at a later stage if we are going to fight. I can tell you one thing. We're going to have a problem with the borders. We're going to have to implement border control. Because once people from other countries, and by other countries I mean the rest of South Africa, because we will be the Republic of the Western Cape. So South Africa will be another country. And people are going to want to pour into the Republic of the Western Cape once they see what's going on. Because surely everybody must be sick of this stuff. I mean, I've in-laws in Durban and Joburg, and they're all complaining. And people have a choice, if you want to leave, then you must be able to leave. And if you want to come to the Republic of the Western Cape, then we must make it possible to do that, where you can emigrate, and then you immigrate to the Republic of the Western Cape. Anyway, I've hit about 12 minutes now, so I'm going to stop now. See you next time.